Turn it down a little. Oh, camera's not up. We got to put there it is. Welcome into the Rant, a late afternoon edition of the Rant, live from the Kelly Moore, the ever-evolving Kelly Moore Memorial Studios here in Dallas's beautiful design district. I am Pugs Moran. We do this every day, typically around noon. Hi, everybody. Everybody's in the chat room. It is current events, it is lifestyle talk, it is small talk, and it is evolving before our very eyes. It's going to be a lot different. I think next week we're going to start. Well, I'll show you what we're going to start doing. An idea that came up here yesterday. I want to start having guests in. I want to start, doing a little bit more. And I didn't know how I could do that. But as it turns out, guess what? I do have a way to do it. And look, there we go. The interview chair, currently occupied by one Darth Vader. But yesterday I came up with the idea that I'd like to have people in, interesting people, fun people. And I'm not a big fan of being on video all the time. Yeah, it's not my thing. We do it here. But I'm thinking, here's what I'll do. We'll just do the regular show, but I'll bring somebody in and I'll make them sit in the chair, and they will be on camera for the entire show, like Darth Vader. And we'll just gauge their reaction. You'll just see their facial expressions to them. We'll see how bored they get. We'll see, just watch them. I don't know. We're going to do things different. I'm going to start bringing guests in to do current events talk with me. Start that on Monday. So say goodbye to Darth Vader for right now in the interview nook. But that's coming. All right. What is this show? Well, we've been doing it since 2021. It's, as I say, it's current events driven. Whatever's happening in the world, we'd like to talk about it. Lifestyle. It's not just about headlines and that kind of thing. It's about us as people and what we're going through. It's talk radio for normal Americans. What is normal? 15 on the right. Forget about them. 15% of American citizens who consider themselves right-leaning are gone forever. Same goes for the left. 70% of us, that's who's left. 70% of Americans, I believe, are normal people. Normal people who have never been, banned from a target. They've never been dragged kicking and screaming off of an airplane. And they're still invited to all of their family dinners, right? Those are normal people. If you fall into any of those categories, you're not normal and you're not allowed to listen. The show isn't going to appeal to you. Been doing it every day for 3 years. As I say, we sit down typically around noon. I'll explain why we're late today. Show will unfold in 4 distinct parts. I perform it as a stream of consciousness, which is just me blabbing, blah, blah, blah. No stops, no breaks, no nothing. And because of that, we have these 4 segments. First one, we go through the history of things. Antecedently on this day, it's this day in history. I'm not reinventing the wheel there. Quarter 2, birthdays. People celebrating birthdays today. We just kind of kick the crap out of some celebrities or celebrate them. That works both ways. Quarter 3 is deads. People who died on this day. Where did they go? Heaven or hell? Based on what we know about them. Napoleon Bonaparte died on this day. I wonder where he went. And we talk a little bit about his life and where he probably ended up. Then quarter 4, the 4th segment, is all the day's hot topics, current events, and everything that's happening. And, as we say, this is not a political show. So if there's a certain, story about, Trump did that, probably not going to get to it. We just talk about the big ones, the big stuff that people are reacting to. We're more likely to spend, like, for instance, we got a whole bunch of stuff we're going to talk about today, but there's a porn star who's like touring the Middle East and hanging out with the Taliban. That's likely to get more time than anything Trump has done, right? I'm probably going to spend more time talking about, what is she doing? Anyway, that's an example of the kind of talk that we're doing here. I'm not looking to, so I should explain to you why the show is starting at 2:30 as opposed to 12. A lot of meetings today here in the beautiful Kelly Moore Memorial Studios. We are adjacent to the fabulous E-Gallery here in Dallas. The E-Gallery is a fully functioning art gallery where artists create and then display their incredible works for the world to marvel at, that's next door. That's the e-gallery. I'm over here in like a different studio that's kind of closed off from the world. The Kelly Moore Memorial Studio, appropriately named, closed off for the world. Woman spent the last, 10 years of her life on an island off the coast of Gulf of America. Notice how I said that? It just rolls, Gulf of America. I like it better. I'm sorry. Pugs, that's going to go right back as soon as Trump isn't president. I don't know. I kind of like Gulf of America. All right. So the Kelly Moore Studios, I've been stuck in here all day. We've had some incredible meetings today. So I do apologize. Thank you for bearing with me. I know it's meetings. Started having meetings at 9:30 this morning. I haven't come out here. I came out once to go to the bathroom and then once again about an hour ago to go get myself a cup of coffee. But thank you for bearing with us. I apologize, but good things are happening here at the Radio Miss. I went to the bathroom. Everybody's gone next door. They must have gone to lunch. I walk out there. I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? He's over there. James is over there. Haven't seen anybody. But because, I'm dedicated to doing this show every day, here we go. Let's roll. Let's get this show out of the way. It doesn't sound great. There's a bunch of cool stuff. Jeff says, you forgot to pay the light bill. Looks really dark today. Yeah, I like it this way. I know, but I like it this way. It's specific. You know how I futz with the lights and stuff. Here, you want a little bit light here? What is this? You want it like this? This is fine. Hold on. I can make it brighter. I like it more intimate. Look at me. Now I got the whole sun shining on me. Fine. You happy now, Jeff? There you go. For you. I'm going to have a migraine later tonight from this. Kidding. I love Jeff. Sports Bras is here. Super excited. The Sports Bras are a part of the new Radio Misfits family and what we're going to be doing there. Not entirely sure, but hey, welcome to the party, boys. Oh, here's the other reason. I had to do a show today because it's Pledge Week. May I direct your attention to the scroll down there? You may notice the per show number has gone up. We didn't get any tips yesterday. There's nothing in the Venmo. There ain't nothing. What the heck, you guys? It's all right. We got 2 shows. We need to raise $100. This show needs to make $100 between today and tomorrow. And honestly, if it can't raise $100 between today and tomorrow, it doesn't deserve to be on. Tip the show if you can. That's how we do it. No advertisers, no nothing. Ain't nobody gonna convince me to carry what? No, I'm not taking any advertiser money. Although, if an advertiser came in, maybe I would take it. Let's be honest. But we run this show independent. So you people keep it alive. 3 years running, man. You guys have kept it alive. Help out if you can, please. You know me. I hate doing the tin cup thing. But here's the good news. After tomorrow's show, we probably won't be doing this anymore. We probably, it's Pledge Week is when I really got to push. So, okay. So there we go. We got no executive producer today. Do we? Jamie? Do we have Jamie is, of course, my fictional producer. Jamie, Google search that. See if we got any executive producers today. Al Gamboa is here. He says it's like the macaroni grill in there. Oh, okay. That's not exactly what I was going for. You guys, I invented something so awesome. Right? What is necessity is the mother of invention. So I was having a problem with sound. Probably something that you guys didn't even notice. But the sound was absolutely horrible. And it was because when I'd get excited and I'd start yelling, this room was too cavernous. But I invented something. Let me show you something that I invented. Here's what I had at my disposal. Again, invention. The mother of necessity. What? How is that saying go? I don't know. Look at what I built. I built this, and it is like the best sound wall I have ever seen in my life. Hold on. How do I do this? Can I show? Look at this. This thing right here. You see this thing? This is, first of all, that's a carpet. Okay. That is just a carpet that was rolled up and in storage. And I'm like, oh, I bet you could use this for sound padding. And I created a wall right next to me where I do this, where if I ever get excited, I can yell into the wall and it won't echo. And it's been amazing. I don't know anything about anything, but I know that works. I know that I had a problem and I solved that problem. Let's hear it from me. thin show today. We got 14 people in the chat room right now. It's 2:30. Come on, bring a friend week. Maybe that's something we need to do. Bring a friend week. I do hope that by bringing people in to sit here with me while I do this, I do hope that, being able to, or doing that is going to maybe, grow the audience a little. Who knows? Who knows? Ain't that right, Darth Vader? Do you think you can help grow the audience? He sure does. That's the interview chair. It's very comfortable. I'm not going to make it uncomfortable for people. All right, what do you say? They say we get started. Enough. We've been dicking around too long here. It's a late show. I still got another meeting I got to do. Holy shit, I just noticed something. I apologize. Not great. Now 13. Me pointing out that the chat room is small made somebody go, I'm getting out of here. I don't want to be anyplace this uncool. Pretty sure that's what just happened. Hold on. We'll get started. I got a fun show today. I got a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about. So maybe a late start, and I may be playing a little catch up here in the early goings, but we'll do it. We'll get it done. Do I have everything up and running now? Is everything right? Al Gamboa, are we allowed to come visit? Yeah, why not, man? I mean, you know what? I think we should do for like people who keep us alive. That's a great idea. People who tip us and keep us alive, executive producers. We ought to have like an in-studio day. Invite everybody down to come hang out with us. We could fill this whole room. We could. We just put everybody in here and we'll do a show. I don't have a problem with that. I would like, once we get to a place where we're self-sufficient, yeah, man, I'd like you guys to come by. Absolutely. I want to throw painting parties where we give you all canvases and paint and, we hang out. Maybe we record that. Look, sky is the limit as far as creativity and what we're going to be able to do in this area with this space. Let's go. I want to hear your ideas. I want to attract all Dallas creatives. You want to come do podcasts with us? Come on. Tell me what your podcast is. Let's go. Show me what you can do. You want to, well, I don't want to go into it. The meeting that we had this morning was incredible. So moving on from that. Oh, hey, check this out too. A shout out to my boy. I got a 15-year-old son. His name is Mason. He's cool for the most part, he thinks he's too cool, but me. He's got some work to do, but he's cool. Let's keep some fingers crossed and throw out some good vibes. My boy is going to the Department of Motor Vehicles today to see if he can get his permit. Get that boy his permit. And then he's going to be I got him this weekend. It's going to be boys weekend, but it's going to be, oh God, we're going to go driving. I'm going to, his mom's have all the fun. Here's where we're at with him driving. He's doing neighborhoods. He's doing school parking lots, like big high school stadium parking lots. He is not making any right turn or left turns. He's only making right turns. So I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to come down here to the design district this weekend, because the design district is pretty much abandoned on Saturdays and Sundays. Watch there be some big art event going on where it's crazy. But man, these streets would be good. So we're going to practice here, and I think we're going to go to a cemetery too. Cemeteries are always good traditional places too. You guys ever have to teach anybody how to drive? Not me. I never had to do that. I don't know. So it's going to be fun. That's our weekend. Boys weekend. Driving. I don't want him drive. Well, actually, can I be honest about my 15-year-old son? He isn't me. Okay. Like me, like if I project, I don't want him driving because, and then I begin to project all of the things that I would have done at 16. I can't do that with him because he is not that. He is way more responsible. He is, the reality of it is that I should probably feel pretty secure, with him driving. But I don't know. I still think I know what I would have done. He doesn't drink. He doesn't. We're going to get into that too. There's a story I want to talk about today about teenagers and how they aren't drinking anymore. Gen Z is not a drinking. However, don't worry about it because boomers are picking up the slack. I'm not kidding. Boomers are drinking more than ever before, and Gen Z not at all. So we'll get into that. Adam says, here we go. Adam Rain in the chat room. He's got some, he says, let's say there. He says, I taught people how to drive and also taught people how to drive on a stick, which is extra fun. I learned how to drive on a stick as well. Yeah, I had okay, call me whatever name you want. I had to have a girlfriend teach me how to drive a stick. I had a girlfriend who had a stick and she taught me how to drive it. And I loved it as soon as I figured it out. Because, when you're used to driving standard, just put it in gear and you go, right? But stick seems so foreign if you've never really, if you don't understand the configuration of how you're moving up and then over and then back and to the left. And I don't know. It was very confusing until I figured it out. Until I went, oh, so the center, this is neutral. And then I got to go. If I want to, I got to go 1, 2, 3. It's fun. Driving a stick is more fun than driving an automatic. You really feel like you're driving. I love it. Sometimes in my car, because I have the stick, it's standard, but the stick is in the middle. Sometimes I pretend like I'm driving a stick just because I just do the clutch thing and all that. I love stick. Anyway, going to teach my kid how to drive. Going to be part of the team that is teaching my kid how to drive this weekend. Barney says, my daughter has tried to kill me twice so far. Well, that ain't good. And I'm sure there's a backstory there. I don't know. Apropos of, I don't know. What is that in context with anything else? Al says, I learned how to drive in a 1968 Chevy pickup truck for 3 on the fly. Now, I learned how to drive in a brand new, probably 1986 Chevy Nova. My school had driver's ed. Do schools not have driver's ed anymore? My school had driver's ed and had like a deal with a local car dealership where they got brand new cars. So yeah, I learned how to drive on a Chevy Nova. Yep. So that's the big weekend. That's me and the boy and learning how to drive, and no sports to watch, no award shows to get up for. I don't know what's happening this weekend. All right. What do you say we get started with the show? Once again, I do want to remind you, let's do this. Okay. Here. Oh, boy. I got to put this up. I'm wondering if maybe I didn't get any tips yesterday is because I completely forgot for most of the day to put up the tip thing. I hope so. I hope you're encouraged to drop a little something because honestly, we started out so quick this week, and then having a day like yesterday where we got nothing. I mean, I haven't checked. Actually, I haven't left here, so I haven't checked anything since about 9 o'clock this morning. But okay, here we go. Frankie B's in the chat room. Look at Frank. Hi, Frank. Frank's here. Byron's here. We already talked about Adam. We saw Al. We said hi to Peter. Okay, just about everybody's coming in now. Come on. What do you say we get started? Let's do the rant. Welcome in to the rant with me, Pugs Moran, live from the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios in the beautiful E Gallery in Dallas's Design District. It's talk radio for normal Americans. Huzzah! It is the 6th day of the month of March, year of our Lord, 2025. Did you know that there are 65 days already passed in this year, 2025? 66 if it's a leap year. And it ain't. 300 days. That's what I was building to. 300 days. A nice round number till New Year's Eve. So get those New Year's Eve plans started. Okay, let's go. Quarter 1. We call this Antecedently on This Day. These are events that have helped shape our understanding of what this day has represented in the past and how might we take that and apply it to what we can expect in the coming hours. What do we got here? What's going on? We got some breaking news. How do we... breaking news. Hold on. Jeez. I'm not going to be able to do this. What do we got? What's going on here? How close are we? Hold on. Oh, God damn it. How can I never find this shit when I need 2 days ago, 2 hours ago? There's a plane landing on the moon, right? Or a plane. There's something landing on the moon. And they got a live stream of it, except I can't find the live stream of it. Is this it? Intuitive Machines 2 lunar landing 2 hours ago. Live. Here we go. All right, what's this? We got something else landing on the moon. Watch.
Multipath exists down on the lunar surface just because there are so many different ways. So during IM-1, we were sending out signals that were bouncing off the surface, bouncing off of craters, and making their way back to Earth. We took I think it was a Saturday and a Sunday to learn a little bit more about the multipath situation. You mentioned, Leah, Odysseus ended up breaking a leg and then laying down gently on the surface, but that communications does create a problem between multipath and learning about those things. Inside of Intuitive Machines' lunar data network, it's comprised of ground stations all over the globe. The largest one of them being...
Good work so far. What else we got?
The largest one's down in Australia. That is the Parks Observatory. They call her Miri Yang down there, but that really is what helped us pick up those weak radio signals for IM-1. That's not the dish we're on right now, but it seems like we do have a great connection from the vehicle.
That's a great connection. All right, so here's what we're dealing with. This is what we got. This is the Intuitive Machines, a private lunar exploration company. Intuitive Machines Athena lander has reached the moon. So what's going on here with it? This is what we're watching. Let's put the sound back up.
We are also generating power.
Yeah, all these commands that are going to Spark. Spark is code for avionics, right? It's where our power is being allocated on the lander. And we've heard a lot of confirmations of things being turned off. We heard Dr. Crane say we are generating solar power. At last check, we heard mission director call out to look at the antenna configuration on the room's situational awareness model screen, and we're still standing by to see where this is going to go.
All right, look, I'm all for that, but we got to move on. We can't just sit here. Oh, wait, can we? We don't even have a picture from the moon. Is there a picture? We're just watching a bunch of nerds in different offices. No, thank you. All right, whatever. There's a moon landing happening. It's cool. You know me. I'm very excited about returning to the moon. We've had 2 landings now in the last couple of days, right? We had one, a Texas company, just a couple of days ago. They put their thing up there, and now we got this. I don't know anything about it. It just popped up. I am, however, watching it on the other screen here. So if anything cool happens, I'll let you know. All right, moon bullshit is done. Let's get back to antecedently on this day. On this day, things that have occurred and made us go, huh. On this day, antecedently, in the year 1820, the Missouri Compromise is signed into law by President James Monroe. The compromise allows Missouri to enter the Union as a slave state, but also brings Maine into the Union as a free state. Balance. And makes the rest of the northern part of the Louisiana Purchase territory slave-free. The Missouri Compromise. You got to take baby steps to abolishing slavery. The compromise. Imagine being the people who are on the side, historically speaking. Imagine being the people who are like, well, all right, as long as we get to keep our slaves, I'll compromise. I mean, the compromise was for the worst people. People who wanted to enslave their fellow man. Missouri Compromise on this day in 1820. On this day in 1836, here we go a little bit closer to home, Texas Revolution time. Let's talk about the Battle of the Alamo that went down on this day after 13 days. An army of 3,000 Mexicans. The 187 Texas volunteers, including frontiersmen Davy Crockett and Colonel Jim Bowie, defending the Alamo, are killed and the fort is captured. I don't know whose side I'm supposed to be on with that. I don't know. Never seen the movie. The Alamo movies, there's a number of them. They always seem unnecessarily long, like 3 hours and stuff. I don't know. I've been there. Unimpressed. I'm very unimpressed with the Alamo. Put a drive-through in, people will think it's a Taco Bell. Seriously, it's not impressive. Graceland, not impressive. The Alamo, not impressive. Grand Canyon, very impressive. New York City Times Square, very impressive. St. Louis Arch, not even remotely impressive. Moving on. On this day, antecedently in the year 1857, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled 7-2 in the Dred Scott v. Sanford case that the Constitution, here's what they said, here's what the Supreme Court, overwhelmingly too, wasn't close. The Supreme Court of 1857, 7-2. There were only two people who were, a little bit future-minded. Supreme Court voted 7-2 that black people are... The Constitution doesn't say that the black people are citizens or humans. That's terrible. It's famous. People know about it. We learned about Dred Scott back in high school. Although I got to be honest, I was like, wait, what was that again now? Okay, I had to refresh myself. On this day, antecedently in the year 18... Look, the Supreme Court historically has not been this, they've made a lot of fucked up decisions over the years. And antecedently on this day in the year 1889, Bayer registers aspirin as a trademark. Look at that. Talk about taking medical miracles for granted. Aspirin. I don't even know what aspirin does necessarily, but it certainly does relieve all kinds of everyday minor aches and pains. I've just recently discovered, probably because I'm old now, but I just recently discovered that for like all kinds of shit, like, I don't know why all of a sudden my right hip hurts, but that's what starts to happen when you get older. Why does my left toenail throb? Shit like that when you get older. Aspirin, man. Take a couple of aspirin every night at 6 o'clock. Good. Thank you, Bear. We take you for granted, Bear, the aspirin people, but it was on this day in 1899, aspirin invented. On this day in 1933, during the Great Depression, it was, the stock market was crashing, and there were run-on banks. So it was on this day that Franklin Delano Roosevelt just whipped out of his back pocket an executive order that said, Monday is a banking holiday. Shut all the banks. Couldn't do any banking. Why? Because on Friday at close of bank, people were running the banks. Banks were closing. They were taking all the money out. People didn't understand that, all of your money that you put in the bank isn't just in a room stacked up neatly in a corner. That money is then invested in other things in the community. And when you have a bank run, everybody loses their money. So in order to stop the bank run that had occurred on the Thursday and the Friday during the Wall Street crisis and all that shit that was happening, FDR called a bank holiday. He just said, banks aren't open Monday. Banks aren't up. It was actually brilliant. It was incredibly controversial, but it saved the American banking system. Antecedently on this day in 1951, during the Cold War, the trial of Ethel and Julius Rosenberg begins. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg were executed as spies during the Cold War. A couple of Jews with some ties to Russia. I have my questions about whether or not they actually did it. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. It's a complicated story, man. On this day in 1953, antecedently speaking, Georgy Melyankov succeeds Joseph Stalin as premier of the Soviet Union and becomes first secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. We talked about this yesterday. Was the day that it was announced that Stalin died. Now, the stories about what happened in the hours following the death of Stalin have been incredibly satirized in the film, The Death of Stalin, which I encourage everybody to see. It's so funny. But if you saw that movie, you know about this, because you remember when Melyankov suddenly became the guy for a couple of days or whatever. It was eventually, Khrushchev was the guy who rose. But yeah, very funny. So it was on this day in the year 1953, the Georgy Melyankov succeeds Joseph Stalin as premier of the Soviet Union. Antecedently on this day in the year 1964, the nation of try it again. On this day in 1964, Nation of Islam leader Elijah Muhammad officially gives boxing champion Cassius Clay the name Tone Loc. No, of course not. Cassius Clay became Muhammad Ali on this day. Muhammad Ali, ladies and gentlemen. Antecedently on this day in the year 1967, during the Cold War, this is a great propaganda win for the United States. Joseph Stalin's daughter, Svetlana Alexeyevna. Is that it? She only got two names? Most of these people have like 15 names. Svetlana Aliyeva. Let me try my Russian. Svetlana Aliyeva. Oh, I nailed it! Svetlana Aliyeva. Stalin. Svetlana Stalin Aliyeva. I fucked it up. She moved to America in 1967. She defected. The daughter of Stalin. Why? Well, they were going to kill her. She was the daughter. They were trying to, there were a lot of Stalin loyalists. And, she had some, power, so they were going to kill her. They were like, you can't be alive anymore because people think you might be like your dad. So anyway, she came here, propaganda victory, Cold War. Huzzah! Last one, antecedently on this day in 1975, there's a Zapruder film, which is, of course, the assassination of John F. Kennedy right here, a couple of blocks away at Dealey Plaza. Peek my head out the window. Actually, I'd probably have to go on the roof. If I went on the roof, I could see it, but you know what I'm saying? It was made public. I don't know if you remember that or if we really consider that about the way history works, especially if we weren't around to watch it in real time. But the Zapruder film was taken in 1963. It wasn't shown to the American people until 1975 on this day. So, we all now, when we talk about the Kennedy assassination and theories and all that kind of stuff, we have the luxury of having seen that tape. But people didn't see it until 1975. It was a big deal. All right, there you go. That's going to do it. That's the first quarter of today's 4-quarter exhibition. Antecedently on this day goes away, and now we move effortlessly into birthdays because they say it's their birthday. Although I don't know for sure. Born on this day in 1475. Now, I got to be honest with you. I don't consider myself a extraordinarily smart guy. I don't consider myself stupid either. I think that I live somewhere in the middle. Maybe I rely on, logic and reason and all that more than the average Joe. But I am definitely, intellectually speaking, somewhere in the middle. And there is no greater example of that than this. This person is celebrating a birthday today. He was born on this day in 1475. And he's super famous, but I didn't know. Okay, I'm just going to put it to you this way. Until this morning, I thought his name was Michelangelo. That's right. I thought his name was Michelangelo. I thought the dude who painted the Sistine Chapel was a dude. First name, Michael. Last name, Angelo. Guys, I'm a moron. Seriously. It makes sense, right? I know it sounds like a little bit too modern of a name for back then, but it's Italy, and I'm like, they were saints. They were Saint Michael. Maybe that was already a name, so I thought Michelangelo. Now, it turns out his name is Michelangelo di Lodovico Buontardio Simoni. That's it. That's his name. Michelangelo is like a name. It's one word. It's not even Michelangelo. I'm a moron. I'm a moron, you guys. Michelangelo. That's going to be from now on. Like, if I need a fake name, I'm going to be Michelangelo. Born on this day in 1475. Born on this day in 1699. Here's another one. Here's another big name. This is two big ones. Dude, as far as, if you're looking at traditional culture and literature and all that kind of stuff, art, fancy stuff that has been deemed, that stood the test of time and is classic. You got Michelangelo. And how about Cyrano de Bergerac? Born on this day in 1619. Okay, so this is where I'm stupid again. I thought Cyrano de Bergerac was a fictional character. I didn't know he was a real guy. I thought Cyrano de Bergerac is the ugly dude who had a hot friend, and Cyrano de Bergerac, a hot dude friend, and the hot dude friend liked this girl but didn't know how to talk to her, and Cyrano then whispered it Cyrano had game, right? He was an ugly guy who had to, turns out, I guess he's real. I don't know, moving on. Born on this day in 1619, says it is. French author and playwright. Born on this day in 1923, let's get into the modern times. Ed McMahon, the greatness, we love him. Born on this day in 1927, I take my hat off because Gordo Cooper was born on this day. The great Gordon Cooper, American engineer, pilot, and astronaut, born on this day in 1927. Born on this day in 1936, Marion Barry. Oh, mayor of D.C. got caught smoking crack. Let me tell you, a lot of, when Marion Barry got caught smoking crack while he was the sitting mayor of Washington, D.C. What up, Kojak? I just come over. I see Kojak stepping in. Marion Barry gets caught smoking crack, and we're like, yeah, look at that. Typical. He's not a real... I mean, come on, man. You're supposed to be a serious leader, be your mayor of Washington, D.C. You get smoking crack. Well, that's what happens when you elect those people. There was that. If you were leaning to that kind of mentality, then you were like, well, see, it's what happens when you elect. Because you got to remember, this is back in the early 90s. This isn't today's, years ago. It's what happens when you elect people. Oh, they had a lot of fun with that. And then a couple of years later, the whitest guy from the whitest place ever, Rob Ford, mayor of Toronto, did the exact same thing. What's that you were saying about Marion Barry and those people? Because I'll tell you, crack is good, man. People just like crack. Let's just say that. There are certain people out there who just enjoy crack. Never tried crack. You guys ever tried crack? I'd try it. Like if a dude walked in right now, hey, you said you never tried crack. Here, take a puff of this. I might try one puff. Although is crack that good? Actually, maybe not. At 55, I don't think I would try crack. I get too many. I think that's heroin. Remember, I'm going to try heroin at 7. It used to be 70. I used to say at 70, I'm going to do heroin at my 70th birthday party. I want to try it. I've had to move that. I think now it's 80 because we're all living longer and I expect to still be functioning and working and doing stuff in my 70s. But when I close it up, full-blown heroin junkie. That's my plan. Got to have enough money. I just got to make enough money so that by 80, I can be a full-on heroin junkie. Here's my plan. I'd like to live in one of those old people apartment buildings, where it's just all old people. And I just live in my room and do junk the whole time. It'll be fun. Trust me. All right, let's go. More birthdays. Whose birthday are we doing? We're running through some birthdays here. All right, who else we got? We got Marion Barry, born on this day in 1936. We got David Gilmour, born on this day in 1946. Of course, Pink Floyd. David Gilmour, married to Kate Bush. I don't know what to say. He's kind of boring. Born on this day in 1947, y'all. 1947. Here's a lady who was a big star for about 6 months, and then I don't know what the hell ever happened to her. She never had a follow-up. Kiki D. Kiki D. You know who Kiki D is. Elton John made her a star. Elton John was already a star, and then Elton John had a song that needed to be a duet, I guess. And they brought her in, or maybe it was her and she was on Elton's label. And they said, why don't we have Elton, give you a boost by bringing, I don't know, but it's that Don't Go Breaking My Heart song. Don't go breaking my heart. Kiki D, born on this day in 1947. I don't think she ever did anything else. Born on this day in 1959. Happy birthday, Tom Arnold. Boy, that's a guy. That's all he did was marry. All he had to do. You telling me all I would have had to do in 1989 is marry Roseanne and my life would be set? Got to be honest, don't think I was willing to do that in 1989. I've been like, Roseanne, no thanks. I thought you meant Rosanna Arquette. Roseanne Barr? No. But Tom Arnold stepped up and his life has been made. He's now a household name. Folks, here we go. 1967. If you were listening to the show the other day, I divulged that as an old man, the women that I have been, crushing on, I have the order. There's always been a woman that I have had, a celebrity woman who I've had a crush on, who I've been like, ooh, I dig her, right? Ever since I can remember. I think we say it starts with Charlie's Angels, right? It was originally it was Jacqueline Smith. Oh, I'm like 7. I'm like, yeah, I don't know anything, but I know that is something that I like. Jacqueline Smith. I wasn't a Farrah guy. I was a Jacqueline Smith guy. And then Bo Derek, right? And I told you about Demi Moore in the 80s, and she rolled into Winona Ryder, who kind of rolled into Tia Leone. I've always had these, like, off-brands, not off-brand, but I've had these women, and they don't need to be big stars. Tia Leone wasn't a big star. When I first glommed onto Demi Moore and Winona Ryder, they weren't big stars, but I was obsessed with them. They became big stars. So I told you about the age-appropriate one that I have now, and it's her birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, happy birthday to the lovely Connie Britton. Of course, Tammy Taylor from Friday Night Lights. I don't know, whoever the Reba-like character was from that Nashville show. Spin City, that's what I want. Can we just, because that's the first time I saw her. I saw Connie Britton on Spin City, and I was like, okay, look at that. Look at how cute she was. Look at those big giant eyes. There she is, a little bit older, getting a little milfy. Who's that? Is that her, like, fat cousin Betsy? I don't know what that is. What, was she pregnant? She's probably pregnant there, and we're gonna move on. Don't know what that is. Anyway, Connie Britton, look at her. Oh my God, who doesn't love Connie Britton? There's nobody. What's that one? Let's see that one. Was that from? I don't know what that is. I don't know if I love the hair. I don't know. Here's the other thing. Don't be sleeping on Connie Britton's body. Don't just think that she's like some mom. Connie Britton's got a nice body. She's got a great body. Incredible. There she is. Happy birthday. The lovely Connie Britton. Born on this day, year of our Lord, 1967. Born on this day in 1972. How about Shaquille O'Neal? Stood next to Shaquille O'Neal once. My partner Kelly and I got roped into doing an appearance at some club. It was like a last-minute thing, and the club had reached out and paid like a one-day thing. Like, we walk in the morning, and they're like, hey, you guys want to do an appearance tonight for like $500 for an hour each? And we're like, yeah, we'll do that. What do you mean? We got to go to a club instead? In a last-minute thing. Apparently, Shaquille O'Neal was in town. The Mavs were playing Miami. I think he was playing for at the time. The Mavs were playing Miami. He was injured. He wasn't playing, but he had lined up some appearance fee at this bar, and they needed to get the word out. So they got it on our radio station and had us go. Anyway, it was like all a last minute thrown together thing. It's on somewhere on Beltline. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so we go to this thing and we're standing around, and it is dead. There's nobody there. It's like 8:00, right? It's like 8:00 on a Wednesday in this club. Music is going and the lights are spinning, and it's all just, waitresses sitting on bar stools. Just nobody's there. And we walk in and we're like, okay, well, they're paying us for it, so whatever. What would you like us to do? So anyway, we're all waiting. Everybody's waiting for Shaquille O'Neal. And then it did finally kind of fill up a little bit. And then Shaquille O'Neal walks in, and I don't know what he was doing, but they put us over in the same corner. Then we were never introduced or anything. But I stood next to Shaquille O'Neal for a brief moment by the DJ booth. And he was wearing a floor head hooded mink coat. I don't know if it was mink, it was something, but it was like a fur coat. He looked like the abominable snowman. He was so big. Happy birthday, Shaq. That's it. I had no out for that story other than he's big, which is something that everybody already knows. So I got to learn to keep my stupid mouth shut. Happy birthday, born on this day, an old friend of the show, somebody I need to reach out to, because I'm telling you, he's one of the people that I absolutely need to get. We're talking about the changes, right? We're talking about how we're going to make. I've got this whole setup, right, where I want to have a guest come in. They're going to sit in the other chair. Boom. Today's guest. Look at that. Darth Vader. Today's guest. Our birthday boy here, I want to get him in. Jared Reddick from Bowling for Soup, celebrating a birthday today. Old friend Jared Reddick, born on this day in 1972, says here, American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and actor. Incredible on the mic. Really fun. Really good. Want to get him right there in the Darth Vader suit. All right, let's keep going. Happy birthday, Jared. Born on this day in 1972, another local friend, not of the show. I've never met this guy, although it's weird because he comes from my neighborhood. He comes from the south side of Chicago. He played here in Dallas for a long time. Michael Finley, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday to Michael Finley. Born on this day in 1973. Lex Luger, he's a wrestler, born in 91. Happy birthday. And Tyler, the Creator, American rapper, producer, and actor. Don't know who Tyler, the Creator, stupid name. Happy birthday. Also born on this day in 1991. All right, let's go. Let's move on to deads. People who died. Where'd they go? Heaven or hell? Moving along. Dead on this day in 1836. The Alamo people. James Bonham, James Bowie, Davy Crockett, and William Travis are the only ones that I guess, right? Heaven? Those guys, they were like bad dudes. They did. All right, heaven, fine. The dudes who defended the Alamo, I'll put them in heaven. Dead on this day in 1836. Dead on this day in 1932. John Philip Sousa. What did he do? Is he the national anthem? Let's go with a marching band. No. He's marching band shit. He's like, you're a grand old flag. I don't know. He's something that I think I need to put in heaven. John Philip Sousa. Dead on this day in 1932. He goes to heaven. Kirby Puckett. Dead on this day in 2006. Oh my God. Talk about another one. Southside of Chicago. Minnesota Twins legend. Kirby Puckett, this was unfortunate for him. He's dead. I forget he's dead until I see that he's dead. And then I'm like, oh, Kirby was good. All right, just for baseball people. Kirby's one of the best hitters I ever seen. Kirby Puckett is one of the greatest, most consistent hitters. Talk about him the way we talk about Ted Williams. Talk about him the way you talk about Ichiro or Frank Thomas. Talk about Kirby Puckett. Kirby Puckett was a clutch hitter, man. Kirby Puckett. All right, here's the problem with Kirby Puckett. Kirby Puckett got into some like dirty, sexy, skanky trouble. Like he's doing something. Like Kirby grabbed my ass. Or, he did something. And it was like shocking because people were like, oh, I thought Kirby Puckett was a good guy. He's a good guy. And, all of a sudden his brand took a hit where he's like, Kirby was accused of, I don't know what it is. But it was some bad shit. And it's like, oh no, let's see how this works out. And then Kirby died. Like of something else. Too close. Kirby Puckett died too close to being scandalized. So that's terrible. Like if he had just lived a lot longer, right? But like one of the last things you remember about Kirby Puckett is that he was somehow scandalized. I don't even know the details. I don't know what he was accused of. But now I think that he needs to go to hell. That's unfortunate because I was a fan. Dead on this day in 2016, former First Lady, two-term First Lady, not that they get reelected, but you know what I mean. Nancy Reagan, dead on this day in 2016. We have two rules that are kind of conflicting. One is a very well-established rule, and the other one is just kind of one that I always try to adhere to as an example of how we don't blame non-politicians for the actions of their others. Typically, first ladies go to heaven. I will put first ladies in heaven because their husbands absolutely cannot go to heaven. Because I have a rule about politicians in general. They all go to hell. It doesn't matter what they did. Exceptions being maybe Abe Lincoln. So typically I will put first ladies in heaven, no questions asked. But we have another rule about actresses. Actresses go to hell. And Nancy Reagan was an actress. Nancy Davis from Hollywood's golden day. So I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do this. Was she an actress longer than she was first lady? Does being first lady of California count? No, not for me. I'm not from California. I don't give a fuck. Nancy Reagan. Hell. Putting her in hell. Let her go to hell. Let her go to hell with Ronnie. That's how we're doing it. That's it. Ronnie's a politician. Ronnie has to go to hell. They apparently had this incredible love story, right? Let's keep that love story going for all eternity. One more time. It is Pledge Week, folks. Please help support the show in any way you can. Drop a little something. We need to make $100. That's it. Between today and tomorrow. Keep the show going. I want to keep doing these shows. You guys always get us through. $100, man. Somebody, please. Somebody who doesn't typically tip, drop a little something today. Thank you. Moving on. I'm going to leave that up just to keep it easy for you. Let's talk about all of the other things that are happening today. All right. Let's get into our current events segment here. Hey, you guys, I hate to do this, especially since I say that this is always up. Can I take a break real quick and just go to the bathroom? Remember earlier when I told you I haven't been out of here but twice since like 8 o'clock this morning? I'm stuck here in my dumbass little, it's not dumbass, the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios. That sign's coming too. We're going to get, trust me, there's going to be an awesome tribute to Kelly in here. I got to go to the bathroom. It's the way I roll these days. I'm a grown-ass man, and sometimes I need to pee when it's probably not the best time. So give me a second. Let me run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. You guys enjoy. Or actually, you know what? Just... Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Let's talk about stuff. Barney says, what are we going to say? No break for you, pee in a bottle. You're not gonna look, I'm not gonna pee in a bottle. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm a grown-ass man, Barney. I'm going to the bathroom when I want to go to the bathroom. I just think it's a nice, social nicety, if you will, that I ask permission. Yeah, I don't need your permission to pee. I'm gonna go pee. If I choose to pee in the bottle, possibly as a viral stunt, I will do that as well. How am I doing on my drink? Al says, Al got some breaking Code Mix information. Y'all may remember Code Mix was an energy drink that I liked and couldn't find anywhere. He says, by the way, Code Mix is available on Amazon. You had mentioned that you were looking for Amazon. It's got to be a store. I'm Gen X, man. I still like to just buy my shit, carry it myself. But I get you. That's good. Code Mix is good. I don't know if it's that good. I don't know if it's like kind of afraid of Amazon. I know that that's stupid. Everybody in my life uses Amazon for everything except me. I'm like, nah, I'd rather just go to the store. You know, what am I going to do? All right. Thank you, Al. Appreciate that. You guys keep a lookout. Code Mix. It's good. I'm telling you, it's good. It's really good. Adam Reyna, we mentioned Tyler, the Creator. I guess that's his birthday. He says he's seeing old Tyler, the Creator, next Monday at American Airlines Center. That's a big one. He's obviously a big star if he's playing the American Airlines Center. I'm just another indication of how lame my ass is. All right, what do you say we get started here? Let's go into quarter four. These are all of the things that are happening today, the big stories. We're going to run through a lot of it. I'll remind those of you who haven't seen this pledge week, so go ahead and leave that up. Oh, you know what is the problem here? I need to be higher up. I do, right? Look at how low I am. It's like I can rest my chin on that banner. You know, and then I need to be like a little bit higher. We'll figure that out. All right, let's get started. I'm going to run through some of the things apparently breaking in the last couple of hours. Trump and Musk got into it in the Oval Office. Not into it. They didn't get into it, but apparently Trump, but a lot of blowback. A lot of people saying, you know, Elon Musk is the real president. Trump is the puppet and all that. And, you know, it kind of looks like that. I mean, it kind of looks like, you know, Elon's doing whatever the hell he wanted. So apparently Trump today put him in place. It said President Donald Trump convened his cabinet in person on Thursday to deliver a message. He said, "You're in charge of your departments." This to the assembled secretaries. "You're in charge of your departments, not Elon Musk." According to two administration officials, Trump told top members of his administration that Musk was empowered to make recommendations to the departments, but not to issue unilateral decisions on staffing and policy. Seems like this should have been the kind of thing they got clear in one of those, you know, meetings you have before you launch something. This, you know, we're a month in, we're 6 weeks in. These don't seem like 6 weeks in issues that need to be addressed, but okay. The meeting followed a series of mass firings and threats to government workers from the billionaire Tesla founder who helms the Department of Government Efficiency. Okay, so again, it's not a real thing. It's a made-up thing. Doge is like an internet meme. It's a made-up thing. We're all just, everything's a construct, right? Okay, it was presented that this is now a real thing. It's not. It's DSS, right? Digital Select Services or whatever. We've already had this. They just renamed it. Same thing he did with Space Force. Space Force isn't new. Space Force was already a thing. It was a Space Command. Just rename it, rebrand it, relaunch it, and we're like, yeah, we're doing stuff. Okay, whatever. Doge's actions have faced ferocious resistance in court and criticisms from both Democrat and Republican lawmakers. We played the tape yesterday from Wiley, Texas, the GOP monthly meeting, the GOP town monthly meeting, whatever the hell it is. I don't know. But yeah, there were a lot of people whose, I don't know if they're directly government workers or if their businesses rely on, you know, the government businesses, but Trump said today in the Oval Office, or not in the Oval Office, but in front of the assembled secretaries, that it was time for Elon to begin using a scalpel instead of a chainsaw. So there you have it. Hey, war with China? The fuck is happening now with this? Now I know this was last night, and maybe things have calmed down now because of something else that occurred just a couple of hours ago. But, you know, when I went to bed last night, there was this shit-talking thing going on between China and Pete Hegseth, all right, our new defense minister, which made China go on public record with, China says it's ready for war with the United States. Beijing boosts defense spending by 7.2% and warns Washington that it is prepared to fight until the end. China has said that it's ready for war with America as it raises defense spending. In a direct threat to Donald Trump, China's representatives in America said, if war is what the United States want, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight until the end. Whoa, I mean, that's some real saber rattling, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say, we live in a world where you can't take anybody's word for anything. So saber rattling means nothing now. Maybe they're just playing this new game where you say whatever you want and people forget you said it a day later. Our defense secretary responded by saying that the U.S. is prepared to go to war with China. China, Canada, Mexico, Ukraine. It's going to be us and Russia. Us, Russia, North Korea, and Iran against everybody else. The company you keep. If war is what the U.S. wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight it till the end. The Chinese ambassador said. This is getting out of hand. This stuff is getting stupid. All right, let's move on. I'll tell you why that might not be as scary in a couple stories from now. Also, Trump is telling Hamas, you better return all of them, whatever Hamas got. Hamas has had these hostages they've been holding for over a year now, since October 7th, right? They've been holding these hostages, and Trump issued a statement yesterday that said, all right, enough is enough. Daddy's home. Release the hostages, or I'm telling you, it's going to be bad, right? So he's like threatening. What was the exact thing that he said here? Release all hostages. If not, you are dead. Okay. I mean, that sounds good, right? To an American like me, that sounds good. That's like, yeah, why hasn't anybody said that to him before? Why hasn't anybody said, hey, Mr. Hamas, you give up those hostages or we're going to carpet bomb people into you? Well, nobody said that before because that's what they want, right? That's what they want. It sounds good when you don't understand that they want to be dominated, because being dominated and overpowered by a much larger, oppressive, religiously oppressive thing like the United States, that's how they get to heaven. That's what they want. They want, you know what, the greatest recruitment tool for terrorism in the world is American military success in the region. So go ahead, Trump, go ahead. You know, that's why we haven't done this before, but go ahead, man. Let's just bomb them into oblivion and then start watching our shopping malls explode from coast to coast every weekend. Diplomacy. That doesn't work great either, but it's not a zero-sum game. So don't sit here like, well, nothing has worked. Maybe this. And if that's the argument, maybe that is, right? I mean, I've been telling you for a couple of days now that this is a classic case of a leader. We've never seen this in a Western leader before. Certainly not a country with nukes. Madman diplomacy. You know, it's almost typically the domain of like Central African warlords and like 18th century syphilitic dukes. We've never seen a country with our power engage on the world stage using madman diplomacy, but we're seeing it now. So who knows? I could be wrong. I'm just saying it doesn't look good. One of our cities is going to burn. I'm just really worried about which one it's going to be, but we're not all going to get away unscathed. You just can't. Something bad's going to happen. Let's move on. All right, tariffs. Let's talk about tariffs. So the big tariff war, for some reason, we're kicking fucking Canada in the nuts. I don't know why this whole became a thing, but okay, whatever. Apparently our best friend and our closest ally and our buddy across the border. Look, you know what? Who do you want as a neighbor? We couldn't ask for a better fucking neighbor. You just look at Mexico. All the trouble we're having with Mexico, we get none of that with Canada. And yet for some reason, we're fucking with Canada. It sucks, okay? It sucks. It's not cool, but whatever, we're fucking with Canada. Trade war with Canada, tariffs, 25%. Apparently, we've walked that back now. Apparently, 24 hours, 48 hours of the entire world going, that sucks, and the stock market tanking. Now, apparently, the administration's like, yeah, we're not doing that. Remember what we said on Monday? Yeah, we're not. Trump walks back tariffs on a wide range of goods from Mexico and Canada for 1 month. Trump's order said that goods compliant with the North American Free Trade Agreement will not face the 25% tariff, which he put in place Tuesday on Mexican and Canadian imports. So again, changing your mind after 24 hours, madman diplomacy. You don't know what his next move is going to be. And of course, on his side, the person who's perpetrating that, they're thinking that that's going to be a quick way to get a deal signed, because people, once they hear what they want to hear, they're going to sign that deal and get it over with. And then you can move on. But the problem is that the other side is going to sign a deal with somebody who's like going to change their mind. And what does that deal mean? Which is ironically the whole problem with that meeting that occurred in the Oval Office a week ago between Zelensky and Trump. Zelensky's pushback was, we can't trust a deal with them. I have signed 23 treaties with them. They've gone back on all of them. Maybe that's why people at the highest level don't engage in madman diplomacy, because you need to be serious. People need to take your word, because otherwise people die. People die. Entire civilizations get washed away. Bad decisions from the ruling class. We'll see. Anyway, tariffs. Never mind. Canada, you're good. Never mind. Never mind to the tariffs. Here's another fun one. Trump announced today executive order. Department of Education. See you later. See you later, Department of Education. You know, this is all going to work out according to plan, because, see, the Department of Education and public schools and all that shit, that's really only needed for the poor working class and the poor people. Everybody else is going to be able to send their kids someplace to get a good education, right? That's probably going to happen. But, you know, poor people, oh my God, in the next 20 years, we are going to have the dumbest, most poorly educated generation of poor people. It's just taking all their education away from them. That's what they want. You want an ignorant voting population. You want people who are dumb as fuck, because those kinds of people are easier to manipulate. Come on, W.C. Fields. I was going to quote W.C. Fields, but P.T. Barnum is probably more appropriate. He understood that. Selling suckers and such. So yeah, you know, keep poor people in this country. Keep poor people dumb, uneducated. Keep them drunk. Keep them on drugs. Keep them whatever. And that's the size from what it is that the ruling class is doing. That's it. I mean, it leads to a Hunger Games type scenario within 25 years, but I'm ready for that. I got enough rich friends that they're going to let me live in a garage somewhere, so I'm not really worried about it. But the rest of you, I could be a professional dog walker for some rich guy. Yeah, it'll be fine. He'll let me take care of his dog, because, you know, I'll find my lane. I'll be fine. Department of Education is apparently going away. That's right. Wrap your mind around that. Maybe it's a good thing. Again, I don't know. We're going to have to wait. Not going to have any real opinions on this kind of stuff. Probably June. You know, let's get to June and see how things are shaking out. People voted. People voted. These ideas were not hidden. These are not ideas that are being sprung on the American voting public at the last minute. These were all things that were mentioned. Here we go. Got to give it a chance, I guess. I guess you got to give it a chance. Like I said, meet me here back in June. Maybe I'll have some opinions on this stuff. But right now, it's just looking very chaotic and extremely, extremely sudden. Who cares? State of Florida. What is this? I didn't read this story, so let's read this together, but it concerns the Tate brothers. You know those guys. Florida's Attorney General opens criminal probe into the Tate brothers. I remember the Tate brothers. It's Tate brothers. Christian Tate getting all kinds of, like, you know, association fame. This is about the brother, Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is an influencer. He's a real plague to anybody who has a teen boy, especially. He should be put down. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm okay if we're gonna have like this billionaire class. If one of them wants to assemble a hit team where we can just people that don't really contribute anything to anyone. And that's kind of what Andrew Tate is. Maybe we can have this, this privatized SEAL team take out the likes of Andrew Tate. Now, I don't want to get political. Like, we ain't taking out politicians and shit like that. So calm down, Barney and Byron. You're like, can Pelosi be next? No, I'm talking about these cultural cancers, right? This guy. Who else? Yeah, who are those people on TikTok? They're big fat family. They go to Sam's Club or something. Take out them. Kid, what's that kid like? Boom or something. I don't know what that kid. I hate that kid. Them. Who else? Bowen Yang. I'd like to have Bowen Yang eliminated. Not death. Not absolutely not that. Just eliminated. Just make them go away. Yeah. All right, moving on. That got off the rails. That's what happens, folks, with a stream of consciousness. Sometimes you just start thinking. So the Tate brothers are being investigated by the state of Florida, both Andrew and Tristan. They were a couple of Romania had them in like shackles for about 2 years because they were apparently luring dumb party whores to come to Romania and do OnlyFans stuff for them. And it turned into be like they were imprisoning these girls. Not imprisoning them, but, I want to leave. Fuck you. You can't leave. He's got an English accent. You can't leave. And then that turns into like, oh, he kidnapped them. No, she's just a dumb chick who couldn't figure out a way to get out of there. She made a stupid decision because she's a moron who was raised by animals. And now she finds herself in a terrible situation. The world is dangerous. Dumb, fucking, stupid people like the chicks who were lured to Romania. Come on, they made that decision. They knew who Andrew Tate was, and they went, that seems like it'd be a good way to make money. Nothing's gonna go wrong. These girls are fucking idiots. Victims nonetheless. But fucking idiots. So that's who this guy is. That's why I say we don't need him. Let's just get rid of him. He's causing problems. Ugh. So he's over there in Romania. They got him in jail. And then, I don't know, something happened. We got a new ambassador. We got a new MAGA ambassador to Romania, and he went over there, and apparently he mentioned the Tate situation to whoever the ambassador for the U.S. is, and I don't know, like a couple of days later, Andrew Tate and his brother are now free to roam, as they say in the Southwest commercials. Took a plane to Florida. That was a couple of weeks ago. Apparently, the Young Republicans of Florida. Yeah, invited Andrew Tate to come and speak. So, the Republican Party that I knew and loved, gone fucking forever. I don't know what this fucking Nazi-adjacent psycho Florida Young Republican Party is, where they're bringing in Andrew Tate. The fuck? All right, so now what is Florida doing? Why is Florida filing charges? Andrew and Tristan Tate, two brothers charged with human trafficking in Romania, are under criminal investigations now in Florida. State Attorney General James Uthmeyer said Tuesday. The online influencers landed in Fort Lauderdale, Florida on Thursday after they were permitted to leave Romania, despite the fact that they are awaiting trial there. Andrew Tate, a self-described misogynist and former professional kickboxer, gained notoriety by advocating male supremacy and total control over women, along with self-help style messaging that attracted an audience of millions. His online platforms, which promise to teach men and boys how to become wealthy, have been accused of being a pyramid scheme. Of course they are. Of course. Dumb, fat nerd boys who can't get laid are drawn to this fucking psycho by the promises of getting, not being a virgin by the time they graduate college. That's who's being lured by this guy. So, of course, he's selling them bullshit. And, of course, it's probably a Ponzi scheme. This guy, Andrew fucking Tate, the magic secret sauce that he's not telling any of these nerds that are falling prey to his bullshit. The secret sauce is that Andrew Tate's a good-looking guy with game who chicks want to fuck naturally, okay? That's how he scores dumb fucking party whores, because he looks good. You fat kid in your basement who's never been laid, who's giving your mom's credit card to this fucking ghoul, you're being duped. All right, now back to Andrew Tate. He and his younger brother, Tristan, dual U.S. and British nationals, were arrested in 2022 on suspicion of trafficking women in Romania. They have denied, again, trafficking. I mean, yeah, on paper, you could probably charge them with that. But again, let's be honest with what this is. Very well-known Andrew Tate goes online, finds girls that are like, I would really like to meet you, because dumb fucking chicks also sometimes happen to be hot little whores. Okay, so these girls, he's like, hey, why don't you come to Romania? And they come to Romania. He's like, you know, you should do to earn your keep. You can live here. And they're like, okay, I want to live here because I'm a stupid, dumb whore with no future. So they live there. And he's like, why don't you earn your keep by doing OnlyFans? And then they start doing these porn things from Romania. And then they want to leave. And he's like, well, you can't leave yet because you still owe me money. And that's the level of kidnapping, right? It's not, they were walking down the street after their shift at Chili's and a van pulled up and they got pulled into the car and no one's seen them since. Like, this is a brand of kidnapping, a brand of trafficking that is a little bit different than, again, the shipping container with 40 dead Chinese girls in San Francisco. A little different. Still fucking gross. He's a piece of shit. But it's a little bit different than that. He still shouldn't be traveling. But, you know, hey, here he comes, coming to Florida because he's got permission to speak to the Florida Young Republicans. The state of Florida now brings us back to this story. The state of Florida. He and his brother, Tristan, dual U.S. nationals, were arrested on suspicion of trafficking women in Romania. Meyer, the Attorney General of Florida, said Tuesday on social media that he had directed his office to work with law enforcement on a preliminary inquiry into the two men. Based on a thorough review of the evidence, I've directed the Office of Statewide Prosecution to execute search warrants and issue subpoenas in the now active criminal investigation into the Tate brothers. For what? I mean, look, I'm all for it. I am all for it. But for what? Like, what exactly have they done? If they are legally traveling, you know, they're on trial in Romania. Did Romania allow them to travel and then put out a bolo on them for fleeing the jurisdiction? I don't think so. There is an look. Do you realize that we could, you want to arrest them, just arrest them. There is an active warrant for their arrest in the United Kingdom. They can't go to the United Kingdom. They can't go home to London. All Florida has to do, Florida's law enforcement, is act on that active warrant. They can arrest them, put them into, but they won't do that because somehow this is fucking tied into Trump, man. Somehow this is tied into MAGA and keeping young American teens all fucking stirred up and angry and awful because maybe one day they'll need to draw upon an army. I don't know what it is. But that's why Florida's not doing it. DeSantis is already crossing streams against Trump simply by saying these people are not welcomed here, right? That's, you know, maybe a check in DeSantis's corner, file, line, column. Let's go with column. This is fucked up. These people should not be welcome. They should not be allowed to leave Romania. But again, if they really are serious, no, they're not serious though. See, because remember, I am opening an investigation about possible crime. Just arrest them. Act on the warrant out of the UK. You can do that. I mean, our federal government like the FBI and stuff like those are the ones who would typically, you know, our Marshal Service, they are the ones that would typically act on international warrants, but they ain't gonna do it. No. Florida can. Florida wants to arrest them. Reason being, there is an active warrant out of the UK. They can't. They're wanted for rape. They're wanted for rape in England. And yet they're standing on stage somewhere in South Florida speaking to a bunch of 18-year-old virgins. All right, I'm done. I honestly, this is a subject that has really got me. I hate this fucking guy. I got a 15-year-old kid, and thankfully my 15-year-old kid is way too old. He is an influence on my 15-year-old kid. He quotes things that he says. Now, my 15-year-old kid is also like, yeah, I mean, I know he's a fuck, but he's funny, Dad. It's fun to make fun of. I don't know if that's what he's doing. I'm fine with it. But I don't like how important this guy is to a young generation of men. She's going to fuck us up even more. Just creating an entire army of young, fuckless assholes. The good thing is that they are all at their core fucking pussies. So bring that army on. One fucking punch to the face. I promise you, they'll be like, hey, you want to see some democratic nonsense? Okay, so I'm a great believer in the concept that for us to never truly fall into the realm of dictatorships, as so many will tell you, we are basically a fascist dictatorship in this point. I don't know if we're there yet, but I'll tell you one way that we will get there, and that is without, I would say, formidable opposition party, but without an opposition whatsoever. We don't have a fucking opposition party to what's happening. What we have are a whole bunch of performative assholes who have no idea how to connect with the average working class person in this country. That's what we've got. They call themselves Democrats, but that's what they are. They're gutless, feckless pussies who do shit like when money is taken away for extraordinarily important things like poor people lunches and shit like that, they respond by doing interpretive defiant dance in front of cameras. Did you see that at the Kennedy Center a couple of weeks ago? Whole bunch of Democratic activists and Democratic board members of the National Endowment for the Arts. They held a press conference and they said, we just want to say that we are going to be pushing back against all this. And then as a demonstration, they did like a 10-minute interpretive dance. That's the opposition party. That's who we got. That's who we got. And then at the State of the Union, look, I'm all for, if we're going to devolve into a style that is more reminiscent of what they've got in Malaysia and England with our parliament, where people screaming at each other, okay, fine, bring it on. But you better be defiant in a way better than just holding up signs like you're at some fucking rich people auction. You want to know the real shitty thing about that? The only reason that was probably put out as an idea, there was a meeting. There was a big meeting with all these fucks, and they said, how do we show that we are dissenting from what is happening? And somebody said, well, I was at a Sotheby's over the weekend, and we all had these darling little paddles. What if we did that? Do you see the kind of bullshit? Meanwhile, you got fucking Al Green, like 100-year-old motherfucker, waving his cane going, defiance! That motherfucker knew that waving these stupid I object, he's a liar, these little signs. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. They embarrass. We are all going to wear the same color. Are you, ladies, are you ready? We're going to wear, it's going to be green. And it's going to be, I can't wear green. It makes me look fat. Okay, well, what color can we all do? What color can we all wear for? It's got to be for women, so it should be pink. Can we all let's wear pink. No, but also it's got to be for Ukraine. All right, what if we wear pink, but we also wear scarf? Fuck you. Fuck all of you and your nonsense. Your performative bullshit. And I mean this on both sides. But right now we're talking about the opposition. We're talking about why you've got one side just running roughshod over everything because we got a bunch of idiots doing interpretive dance and holding up signs like they're at a Christie's auction. Brings us to this latest one. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for another example of how the opposition is fighting back? Let me tell you something. If you people believe what it is that you're saying, and that is that democracy is under attack and that we are a mere weeks away from forgetting all about what America stands for. You little drama theater weirdo. If you are truly someone who believes that, then you ought to know interpretive dance ain't gonna fucking cut it. So stop it. So stop being so over the top. Stop being so, I don't know how else to describe it. I will show you this though. This is the latest from those idiots. Check this out. Hold on. You're going to love this. This went viral. Oh, is this a TikTok? Oh, God. Oh, yeah. They're trying to appeal to younger people. Shit. Hold on. All right. It is. All right, so these are the Dems. They're showing how they're going to fight back against all of this. This bullshit.
Choose your character.
Oh, look at these dorks. Look at these dorks. It's engine-inducing. Yeah, you're very fucking serious. Now go yell at some black guy who you don't recognize from your apartment complex, you bunch of feckless Karens. Choose your fighters, because we're going to fight for you. See how funny we are? Young people, you're going to... I'm done. I'm fucking done with these people. You know who I'm with? Rahm motherfucking Emanuel. Anybody catch him on Real Time with Bill Maher? Anybody remember that son of a bitch? That guy's a fucking asshole. If the Dems are looking for their fucking asshole who will raise an army and fight in a way that Dems haven't seen since the Kennedys were running around, that's Rahm motherfucking Emanuel. I don't know if I want him at the top of the food chain, but I'm saying listen to that son of a bitch. That son of a bitch is calling everyone to fight, push back, not with interpretive dance. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, and I am no single member of a party. I'm not a single issue guy. I'm floating around. I am a plastic bag in a empty Kroger parking lot on a windy day. I'm just wherever I go. But I do know that we need an opposition party. I do know that there needs to be a healthy opposition party, or else, hey, you know, that's all I'm saying. All right, let's keep going now. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's talk about, okay, I promised this story because I don't understand this fucking story. I don't get what this is about. All right, so apparently there's a porn star, and her name is Whitney Wright. You guys ever heard of Whitney Wright, you bunch of pervs? Look at her, there she is. There she is. This is Whitney Wright, the porn star. Let's see. By the way, I got it on moderate, so we're not going to see it. Ugh. So we're not going to see any good porn. But this is, yeah, there she looks like a trampy little bar girl who turned to porn. Yeah, there she is. She's not great. She's not beautiful. You know, a little work. If she stays in shape, gets fake tits, wears a lot of makeup, you know, she's not classically beautiful. If she was like a housewife from Akron, Ohio, who, you know, maybe bagged groceries on the side, this would be not good. Anyway, there she is. All right, Whitney Wright. I don't know who she is. She's a porn star. Look, I've met a lot of porn stars. We used to interview them all the time. There are very few of them who, when they walk in the room, you're like, holy crap, she's gorgeous. I always say there's like only a couple of them who I'm like, why are they doing porn? There is no situation that they could have ever found themselves in their life where they couldn't have just gone to a bar and met some dude who's a millionaire stockbroker. Yeah, it's just too pretty. Some of them you're like, yeah, I get why she's doing porn. She looks like she would need to do porn. Anyway, this chick, porn star Whitney Wright, she's apparently touring the Middle East. She's going in here. Let's see if we can figure out what the story is here. Her with her. She's going to all of these. She's going to like Taliban territories and shit like that. All right, we'll read it from here. Who is Whitney Wright? American porn actor makes headlines for her visits to Taliban-ruled Afghanistan. Do we still have her picture up? No, we lost her picture. All right, let's just go with this one. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. There she is. Look at her. Apparently, she's covering up. Oh, that's not bad. That's she looks actually walking around. She looks pretty good there. I grade porn stars on a pretty rough edge. Kid, who's the prettiest porn star? Who was the prettiest porn star? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. It doesn't matter. American porn star Whitney Wright made headlines over her alleged recent trip to Taliban-ruled blah, blah, blah. Let's just see some pictures of her here, okay? She's taking pictures in Egypt. Yeah, I mean, was she just an Instagrammer? I don't get it. All right, never mind. I don't really have much thoughts on that. I just saw that headline. And I thought, why is a porn star going? Here's the deal. She's going to these places and then she is Instagramming herself in front of like religious spots and all of that. And now there are a whole bunch of like super upset people who are like saying, we're going to kill her. Jihad against porn star Whitney Wright. There you go. Long and short of it. Mike Johnson's chief of staff got a DUI like 15 minutes after Trump's speech the other night. The chief of staff to the Speaker of the House, Hayden, what's his name? Hayden Haynes. It's a weird name. Hayden Haynes, Mike Johnson's chief of staff. Apparently he was drinking. The Trump speech ended. He jumped in his car to drive home and whoop, beep, got into an accident. Junkie McDrunk. There you go. All right, breaking news on the Epstein files. I would like to announce that there is absolutely nothing new. Nope, we still don't have them released. Every day I'm going to announce what's where we are with the Epstein files. We all want to see them, right? Everybody's interested. There is a bit of news, though. We do need to mention this. Lawyers for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and whoever else might be listed in these Epstein files. Lawyers for the victims have made it absolutely clear to the Justice Department that they're cool with you guys releasing all the names. Why is this important? Well, because when we were told we're releasing them tomorrow, and then it was bullshit. Remember, because you trust MAGA. Remember when they brought in all of like the duplicitous influencers with the pretend binders to make all the stupid people think that this was really an event, but then smart people were like, this isn't an event. All of this stuff was already known, and then they got caught, and then they had to send Pam Biondi out, and Pam Biondi was mad at the FBI, and they made that whole thing, right? Remember all that bullshit they're lying about? Well, one of the things that Pam Biondi said was, well, as it turns out is that, we have to be extra cautious because of the victims. Some of the victims have expressed some concerns about the manner in which was, okay, so now, just so we're clear, that's a lie. That was a lie. It's a bullshit because the lawyers are saying, no, the whole time we've been saying, go ahead, release them. We want these people exposed. We already got our money. The Virginia Giuffre lawyers and all of that kind of stuff. We got our money. We had no problem. Virginia and the other victims are actually pretty stoked that some of these names might be made public. So Pam Biondi, Attorney General, shut the fuck up, okay? People just lie about everything, and you people are like, we're getting them! The Epstein files. Epstein victims' lawyers pressures the Trump administration to cut the hype and reveal all. Cut the bullshit, right? The victims are like, cut the bullshit, release it. Let's go. Gotta make sure there's people. Gotta make sure there can't be some deal. There are names on this list that the Trump administration is now negotiating with to see what kind of leverage they can get from these people. That's what's happening. These are gangsters. Some of you know they're gangsters, and you voted full well for having gangsters in the White House. But that's what's happening. That's what's happening. They're not releasing it because, wow, these are the names. Hey, we should get that guy in here because we can muscle him with this information. You want to be taken off the list? Maybe you make a $10 million, whatever. It's how this stuff works. I trust nothing. I trust nothing about this list. It's all bullshit. Remember, I'm only going to trust if Trump's name is on there, which it absolutely won't. There won't be any. There's like fucking 50 pictures of him and Epstein clowning together. They're obviously friends. Epstein lived in Mar-a-Lago. He's got a house on the same fucking street in the Mar-a-Lago Country Club or whatever. But no, Trump's name ain't going to be on there anyway. His name is on the flight records multiple times. We've already seen that. But as far as like, these name won't be there. So I won't even know whether to trust that or not. And you know what? God love him. If his name doesn't belong there, then it shouldn't be there. But I can't imagine that it wouldn't be there. Same goes for Clinton. Clinton's name better be there. I've seen too many pictures of Bill Clinton with Jeffrey Epstein. His name better be on there, and it will be. But again, if his name is there, Bill Clinton, but Trump's isn't, I'm like, well, that's fucking bullshit. I can't trust that Bill Clinton's name really belongs there. As I keep saying, You know, it's like the guy who like owns the First National Bank of Salt Lake City, whose name's gonna appear on there, and it's gonna be, yeah, that's a real one. That's a real one. Because they're gonna fuck a lot of people. They're gonna name a lot of people who are not famous, whose lives are gonna be ruined by this. They're gonna do that just to keep it looking authentic. But as far as the celebrities go, man, you know what? Just keep your fucking Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg bullshit, okay? We ain't getting any list. They're just all going to protect each other, man. This is a cabal of 1%ers. They're all going to protect themselves, and they're going to keep dangling a carrot that's going to keep us, the stupids, the great stupids as they see us. They're going to keep us going, but come on. They said in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, just long enough to make the average person completely lose interest and totally forget. It's a trick. It's a psychological trick. 2 weeks. Anybody who tells you, yeah, oh my God, yeah, I'm working on it. We're about 2 weeks out. 2 weeks is when if they say 2 weeks, they're lying. Same as, what does every cop know? You pull somebody over and you say, have you been drinking? And their answer is, couple of beers. They've been drinking like 10 beers, okay? Couple of beers. It's a mislead. It's easy. I had a couple of beers. Everybody says it. 2 weeks. Sorry, sorry, boss. I'll have that all set for you. 2 weeks out. And 2 weeks come and we forgot about it. 2 weeks is just long enough to forget there was a deadline. Mm-hmm. Hey, here's a weird one. Just a headline I want to riff on here because I don't understand it. This comes out of the San Francisco Gate. The headline is, California is considering letting hunting dogs attack bears. California is considering letting, interesting word, letting dogs attack bears. I got to tell you, as a dog, I got a dog who is of a breed that is bred to fight bears. They chase, Catahoula's have tree climbing hands because they chase fucking bears up trees in the swamps. Anyway. There ain't no letting. Like, I wouldn't, like my dog, the dog sees a bear, the dog isn't going to be, you're going to let me attack this fucking thing? The dog is going for it. So I don't understand. Is this like more crazy California? There is no, well, I guess after the fact, you know, you might be some cleanup if your dog killed a bear and then the bear was like, you can't just kill a bear. It's like, oh, now you owe the state. I don't know. I know the bear doesn't need permission to attack my dog. That bear isn't going to be like, hey, what is the legal status of me fucking that dog up? California is considering letting hunting dogs attack bears. A bill proposed in California legislature by Assembly member Heather Hadwick seeks to make it legal for hunters to sick trained hounds on bears, reversing a state law that currently prohibits hounding, the practice of using dogs to chase bears and hunt them. All right. I see now it's making a little bit more sense. It's a form of hunting, which I would imagine my dog, my Catahoula, would be very good at, considering that's what they're bred for. My dog is a hounding dog. Let's go, California. Anyway, I just thought that was a funny headline. They're going to let dogs attack bears. Like, dogs are like, can I go? Well, midnight it became legal, right? I can attack this bear now. How about this story here? Young people. This was interesting. We'll close with this today. And by the way, thank you so much for joining us on today, a very late afternoon version of this show. Usually every day at noon, we come here with all the hot topics, current events, and lifestyle talk your heart can desire. Today, a bunch of meetings been logged in here in the studio. The Kelly Moore Memorial Studio, been locked in here for a while. So we're late today. I'm hungry too. But I did want to talk about this story. We'll leave you with this. It says, forget the baby boomers, call them the baby boozers. Okay. It's a study that was done on boozing. And apparently young kids, teenagers don't drink. I've seen this firsthand. My 15-year-old son doesn't drink. My 15-year-old son will have a beer and he's like, I don't like to, there's not. When I was growing up, by the time that I was my son's age, I'd already been to numerous backyard keggers. Not only do I think that my son hasn't been to a backyard kegger, but I don't think there has been a backyard kegger. I don't think they have those anymore. It's weird. What my kid and his kids or his friends do is they all vape. And I'm pretty sure they're all vaping weed. But I got to tell you, as a father, perfectly okay with that. If the trade-off in 2025 is a bunch of kids sitting at a party getting high on the couch playing video games, if it's that versus, my generation, which was power drinking, let's fight, let's get in the car and go for sausage sandwiches, that thing. Dude, I'll take a bunch of well-behaved teenagers just getting a little stoned and sitting on the couch. I mean, I've witnessed it. I mean, I have these my son and I have a really good connection, right? A reputation. He's not going to lie to me about this stuff. And I can see how that would be because, these vape things are available everywhere. You go there's a vape store everywhere. There's a vape store in every corner. You walk on in. Now, I don't know if they're allowed to buy anybody 18, but hey, everybody's got an 18-year-old friend who they can give $50 to or $20 to. I don't even know. And they'll walk in and they'll get one of these legal THCA Delta 8 pens, right? And then all of a sudden, all the kids are walking around getting high legally. It's a loophole. Some people don't understand. Yes, marijuana is illegal in this state, but hemp isn't. And THC, THCA, Delta 8, all of those things are right there in hemp. You can smoke them. And trust me, there are companies that are like, so that's what kids are doing. They're not drinking as much. I think that's probably good. It says the kids these days aren't drinking as much as they used to. They're doing sober dating and alcohol-free game nights and whatever zebra striping is. I don't know what that is. But you know who is still boozing it up? Their parents and grandparents. While the media has been chattering about Gen Z and millennials scaling back on alcohol, many of us have missed the older generations, seem to be out here bucking this trend. Many baby boomers are turning into baby boozers. They're hitting retirement. They have savings to spend, and they're enjoying a little life victory lap, accompanied by a glass of wine or 2 or 3 or 4. All right, so that's not that hard to understand. I don't know. I mean, I would think that would be pretty common for the retirement class throughout time. If you were to hold this, if you were to do this poll in 1965, I bet you that you would find that people who are retired and don't have to get up for work in the morning drink more. I don't think that's that surprising. I think that it is offset and it looks a bit more striking because of the very real decrease that we've seen from kids. I'll tell you, marijuana, the idea of marijuana is so much more ubiquitous for young people today than it was when I was a kid. In 1986, the idea of marijuana was Cheech and Chong, and it was bad. It was, it's dirty. You can't see it. And Nancy Reagan, war on drugs. We didn't have every other song be about a different kind of weed like you have in hip hop. And that's, as I say, been ubiquitous since the early 90s. And, that's the world that our teenagers are in, a world that discusses marijuana as easily, it's not taboo, as easily as we used to discuss variations of cheese. Oh, what is this, a Gouda? No, this is a light white Wisconsin cheddar. There was an awareness of marijuana and stuff among young people that we just simply didn't have. Like back in 1987, someone rolls a joint in front of you and it's all gross and sticky and there's shit and twigs and you just smoke it and you go, wow, that's good pot. But the average 16-year-old will say things like, is this an indica or a sativa? What is the branch here that this is taken from? Is this a Kush more or is this a diesel? See what I mean? There is just more of an awareness, more of an appreciation, more of a connoisseurship. So, it would make sense that teenagers are now smoking weed more than they ever were, even, and they're drinking booze less. Why? Because drinking booze sucks. I mean, this is evolution, I guess. This is people over time finally realizing that waking up on Sunday morning with cotton mouth, a fucking headache. That sucks. Drinking alcohol sucks. It drives out your organs. It's fucking awful. So now we got a generation that realizes that a couple of puffs on a vape, not even damaging your lungs with, carbon, like you're smoking it. You're just hitting it with a vape. Although we don't know. There might be real problems with vaping too. Let's just let a couple of years pass before we take a solid look at that study. But a couple of puffs on a vape and suddenly you are giggling with your friends and you're really liking the music you're listening. I mean, come on, I can totally see how that would be preferred. To let's do 10 beers really quick because we got here late. No, take a puff, sit down, boom, you're all caught up. I can see how that would be. And as a father, way more comfortable with that. People on alcohol makes people violent. Alcohol makes people angry. Alcohol makes people, do stupid things because, I'll show them. I'm going to climb up on this roof. That's what alcohol does. Weed doesn't do that. Weed might make you want to play the same song 3 times in a row. Hey, anybody mind if I play that song again? I mean, you'll be that guy at the party. But you ain't the guy climbing up on the roof because you think you can make it into the pool from the roof. I can make it. I'm going to jump. That's booze. Okay? So as a father, I'm far more comfortable with the whole weed thing. And I think it was unavoidable anyway. So you can't fight it. As I say, the cultural impact of marijuana is much different, much more pervasive, ubiquitous. There you go, that word again, than certainly what it was when I was a kid. Certainly more than in the 90s or in the 80s. All right, guys, that's going to do it. I think we're out of show for today. I do appreciate you coming and hanging out. Once again, I do want to remind you that we did not get any tips yesterday. That was not a good day. So we got set behind. We needed to make $100 between today and the end of the show tomorrow. I don't know that we made anything today. I'm afraid I'm going to go look at the phone and maybe some good things occurred, but $100 is all we need. So if you support lifestyle talk, not political, just normal people getting together every single day and talking, chopping it up, if you will, drop a little something in either the Cash App or the Venmo. It would truly, truly be appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow at noon. Normal noon show, okay? And thank you so much, dudes. I didn't know when we were going to get on today. At first, I thought maybe 12:30, then 1, and then it turned into what, 2:30 or something? So you hung with me. It's good to see you all here. I love you. Back tomorrow at noon. Like, follow, subscribe. I still don't have a sign-off. Don't be a dick to anybody. There you go. How's that? Is that too aggressive for my sign off? All right, we're out of here from the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios. We are Radio Misfits, Dallas, Texas, from the E-Gallery in the Dallas's beautiful design district. Don't be a dick to anybody. I don't like how that works. That doesn't work. I don't know. We'll work on it. Love you guys.